Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I'm Jess, and today I wanted to share my thoughts with you about the products that I got from Auric. If you haven't heard of Auric, it's actually a pretty new makeup brand that Samantha Ravndahl created. If you haven't heard of Samantha Ravndahl, she is a big YouTuber. She has over 1 million subscribers. She's been on YouTube for over 7 years. I think over 8 years at this point. She's a big deal. She's hilarious. Her videos are just raw and honest, and I love watching her videos. She doesn't actually post videos all that often. She is known for not posting very often, but when she does, it's a real treat. I'm a big fan of Samantha, so when she announced that she was coming up with her own makeup brand, I got very excited. I think she did her announcement video either November or December of last year. So during the pandemic, I was not buying makeup. I had barely worn makeup at all. I think I have probably worn makeup since the pandemic maybe 3 or 4 times. Like, I could count it on one hand. I barely was wearing makeup at all. When she announced that she was coming up with her own brand, I got super excited about makeup again. I haven't been excited about makeup in a very long time. And so when she finally announced what her products were, I was even more excited because it's stuff that I can use even while wearing a mask. So I did purchase the Glow Lust in Selenite. And I also purchased all 3 of the Smoke Reflex. So I would love to go over my thoughts with you about these products. Before we get started though, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I also am not uploading videos very frequently, but when I do, it's fun. So I would love to have you around, so definitely subscribe. So I'm gonna go over my thoughts about these products. I have been wanting to make this video for quite some time now, but I just never got around to it. There's construction happening right behind my apartment and it's just loud like all day. My husband also works from home a lot of the time and we live in a 1-bedroom apartment, so it can get difficult to share the space for me to film. So the one benefit of not filming for such a long time is that I've been able to use these products for a few months now. And I have to tell you, I love them. I think they're great products. I have never purchased any luxury makeup. I'm generally the person that buys ColourPop and Tarte. Someone's at the door. I'm not one that buys luxury products. I just have a hard time spending a lot of money on makeup when there's brands like ColourPop and Tarte that make really good makeup for affordable prices. But because I hadn't purchased makeup in such a long time, I really had no troubles spending a lot of money on the Auric products. So the Glow Lust goes for $45 a bottle, and the Smoke Reflex go for $39 each. This is quite a bit of money. This is all in USD, and it was $8 for shipping. So I spent almost $200 on this. I think it was like $182 and change. I can't exactly remember the amount, but it was a fair chunk of money to, like, you know, slam down for one purchase. It's not something that I'm used to doing, but I was happy to do it because I am a big fan of Samantha Ravndahl. And because of her videos and, you know, how she portrays herself, she just seems so real and raw and honest. And I just knew that these products were going to be great. So spending the money didn't feel bad. Like, I felt really happy to be buying makeup again, and it was kind of nice to have like a luxury makeup product in my vanity now. I can kind of see what the hype is about for like buying Natasha Denona or Tom Ford or anything like that, because you spent so much money on it, you're more likely to use it. Whereas I have a lot of ColourPop palettes that I'm just like, meh. They're like pretty, don't get me wrong, I still like them, I think they're great products, but it's just like, oh, it was $12, like, you know, I'll get to it eventually. It's not a big deal that I haven't been using it for over a year now, like, whatever. But because these are so expensive, it really makes me want to use them, which I think is kind of an interesting concept. There's got to be some kind of like psychology towards that. I don't know. I'm like a college dropout. I don't know. But I think these products are really, really good, and I have been using them a lot. So because I haven't, you know, filmed this video in so long, I've been using them a lot. I don't use them every day, but I do at least use the Glow Lust a few times a week. I'll still use the Smoke Reflex maybe like once a week, maybe twice in a week when I haven't used it in over a week or something like that. But I love them because they're so easy to use. They're beautiful and they're very user-friendly. Like, I just rub my finger into the cream, put it all over the lid, and then go in with the topper. It's the easiest thing in the world, and I, for one, I think it's beautiful. I think it's stunning. I'm not a makeup artist, but I feel really glowy and pretty, and I really like these products because they make me feel really confident and happy. So with the Glow Lust, I did purchase Selenite, and I know a lot of people are comparing it to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter for a Superstar Youth Glow. Pretty sure I got that right. I actually do have that product. My friend gave it to me for my birthday last year, but I'm actually not a big fan. I don't know if it's the formula or if it's the color. I got shade number 2. I know that the shade range has expanded now, but I just, because of the pandemic and whatnot, I didn't want to go in and exchange it and whatnot. So I did use it a little bit, but I just never really liked it that much. It felt very like pearly white kind of highlight glow, and I didn't feel like it suited me too well. Whereas this color, Selenite, is more of like a champagne, not bronzy, but champagne gold. And I like the way that it applies more. I feel like it melts into my skin nicer, and I just feel like it looks really healthy and glowy. A lot of people are using this under their foundation or mixed in with their foundation. I don't actually wear foundation, so I do use a pump of this, and I mix it in with my face SPF. So I use the Neutrogena, I don't know what it's called. It's some blue bottle. I actually ended up purchasing that because Samantha recommended it. So yeah, I use that with this, and I mix it in and I put it all over my face, and I love the glow. And then I go in with a little like micro pump. That's the other thing, like, oh, I've been using it so much. Like the first time I opened it, it was a struggle, but this is still on nice and tight, but it's a lot easier to open now. But the pump is really great. So I actually just put a little pump directly on the high cheekbones. And I use my finger to pat it out, and then I use a beauty blender to really blend it out, and it just kind of melts into the skin really, really nicely. So I love this product. For $45, it's a luxury product, but I've been using this for a few months now, and I feel like I haven't made a dent at all. So there is a lot of product in here, and you're not going to run out anytime soon. The other thing is, like I said, I don't have luxury makeup, but I feel like this is beautiful. It's got a good amount of weight, it fits in your hand nicely, and I love the details of the gold drips. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So for the Smoke Reflex, I did get all 3. I got Ego, Temper, and Defiance, and I like all of them. I think they're all gorgeous. I'll start with Ego because that is the one that I do have not problems with, but I'll tell you what. So I'm pretty sure that all of these products say that you don't need a primer with them. I in general always need an eye primer because otherwise my lids will crease. And I have no problem using an eye primer. I think it's like a super quick, easy step, and it really, you know, helps my makeup last. So I have no problem adding primer. So, but because it did say that they don't require a primer, I did first use all of these without a primer. The first time I used Ego, I had it on for 4 hours, and at the 4-hour mark, it already started to crease. So I kind of thought that maybe that was because I used my finger to place it on the lid, and then I used a brush to put it in the crease. So then the next time I used Ego, I only used my finger. I just used my finger all over the lid, and then I, you know, bring it up and kind of just smudge it out so that it like diffuses. And then it still creased on me at 4 hours. And then by 8 hours, it was like heavily creased. So I still think this is a beautiful product, but for me and maybe others who have oily lids, you're still gonna need an eye primer. I like to use the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I've been using that for years, and I think it does, you know, it works well with this. Once I put on the primer, I can have this on for 12 hours, no problem. So I really like Ego, and it's funny because when I was looking at the products that she was coming out with, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'll really use Ego. It was just kind of like an intimidating color for me, but this one's my favorite, and this is actually the one that I use most often. I also really love Defiance. It's a beautiful bronze color. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and the topper is very magical. The topper is a nice, like, kind of champagne-y gold color, and it goes on very, very nicely. I didn't mention that with Ego. So Ego is a beautiful gunmetal, like gray, super, super nice. And the topper is like a silver, almost has like a bit of like a green shift to it. It's absolutely stunning. I really, really like it. Sometimes I'll just put Ego over the lid, and then I'll use Ego's topper just like on my inner corner. I also really like Defiance. It's the most unique rose gold color. That's actually what I have on my eyes today. I have Temper on the lid, and then I have Defiance's topper on top. Because I think a lot of people had the problem with Temper's topper. It just like, it's pretty, but it doesn't, I don't know if you can see that. It just doesn't show up at all. So this is Temper's. There's like nothing there. So Temper's in the middle. Ego, and then Defiance. And I think you can tell that these two have a lot more color payoff than this one. It's just, there's not much going on there. I don't know why. The first time I used it, I like kind of scratched the surface off and I was able to get a little bit more. And it is pretty, but it's just a lot more subtle. And maybe that's what she was going for. But it just doesn't seem that way because the other two are just so much more like intense. So yeah, I think all of these are absolutely beautiful. I think they're stunning. I think they're so easy to apply. I just use my finger and rub it all over the lid, put it in the crease, and then use the topper. It's just foolproof. Like, I'm not a makeup artist, and I think this looks really beautiful. So I love all of the products. I think they're great. With Ego, I definitely need a primer because at the 4-hour mark, it will crease on me. With Defiance, that one, Defiance and Temper both last a good 8 hours without a primer. I can't recall which one. One of them did start creasing at the 8-hour mark, but like not very much at all. And then at the 12-hour mark, it was heavily creased. But when I put a primer on, I have no creasing at all, like at the 12-hour mark. So I don't really care about putting on a primer beforehand. I think it's not a big deal at all. And it helps these products, you know, perform a little bit better. So I'm a fan. The only thing that I will say, like maybe in the future, if Samantha and the Auric team are going through videos and come across this one, I think it would be really neat to be able to pick the cream and then pick the topper so you can just kind of make whatever combination, because I really like Temper, but I like Defiance's topper. So it would have been cool to be able to like mix and match your products like that. The other thing that I will say, like the packaging is super cute. I love the Auric is like lifted here. The only thing is like the mirror, I think is like a completely unnecessary and, to be honest, not a very useful part of it. I feel like I go cross-eyed trying to use it, so I have to like close one eye to like, I just don't even bother. So I feel like it would have been maybe a little bit better to just skip the mirrors and, you know, maybe save money that way a little bit somehow. I don't know, because these guys are $39 each. And I think they're gorgeous, but the mirror is just so tiny. I don't really care that it's there, and I kind of wish it wasn't there. As far as Glowlust packaging, I think it's absolutely stunning. The only thing I will say is that I wish that these drops of gold on the side were also like on the front, because when it's just like in the vanity, like just looking at it head on, it's like, oh yeah, that's pretty, but you don't know that it's there. So, and I love the gold detail. I think it's absolutely stunning. So it would have been nice to see these drips like in the front, in the back, kind of like all over. Because it's such a nice detail. I just want more of it. And the only thing that I will say, I'm not 100% sure, but as far as I've seen, because I just quickly Googled it, I don't think you can recycle frosted glass because it's chemically treated. I might be wrong, but I know Samantha's all about like minimal packaging and recycle when you can and like all of that kind of thing. So it's interesting that this is possibly not recyclable because it is frosted. The only thing is that, like, I've had this for a few months. I use it very often. I've barely made a dent, so I know it's going to be a long time until I actually finish this and have to like toss it. I think this is still recyclable. It's like plastic. I'm sure the pump is too, but I don't know about the glass bottle. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when I did my little Google, it did say that frosted glass is not recyclable, so I don't know. And then same thing with these, because these guys are also frosted. Like, it makes for a gorgeous look, but I just don't think that you can recycle them after, so that's kind of a bit of a problem. But I might be wrong. I don't know. Let me know. So those are my thoughts on the Auric products that they have come out with so far. I am so excited to see what else they come out with. I'm hoping that they come out with something else this year. That would be kind of fun, but we'll see. From the products that we have so far, I can expect great things, and I'm excited for them. I think, you know, the sky's the limit. They could do highlight, bronzer, lipsticks, like glosses, like whatever she wants to do. An under eye corrector. I think we all kind of think that that's going to be coming our way. So I'm excited about these products. I'm excited to see where the brand goes. Did you guys purchase anything yourselves? Leave me a comment down below. I would love to know what you thought about them. Do you love them? Do you think it's overpriced? Like, what are your thoughts? Thanks so much for hanging out with me, you guys. Take care. Bye.